The Cory Holly Institute presents Champion Exercise Techniques, Pre-Workout Warm-Up Routine. The pre-workout routine or warm-up routine is the first phase in my 5 Steps to Health workout routine. There are 5 phases to each workout, and this is the first phase. Phase 2 is weight training, phase 3 is core training, phase 4 is cardio, and phase 5 is the total body stretch. Each phase is as important as the other. The warm-up protects us from injury. It helps raise the body temperature by at least a degree, and we're going to prepare for the most intense part of the workout, which is the resistance training or the weight training. We're going to do what I call circles, twists, and stretch. Everything is about loosening up the major joints of the body. We're going to focus on the knees, the ankles, the hips, and here we're focusing on the shoulders. Shoulders are involved in almost every exercise, so how important are they to warm up? Working my chest and my biceps here, notice that I'm changing the rotation of my forearms so that the actual stretch on the tissue and the effect is felt differently with each swing. Swinging back and forth. The whole idea here is to activate the synovial fluid in each joint. Now when you do that, it's going to improve the security of the whole joint capsule. And how often do you see people in the gym with joint injury? This simple pelvis movement, this rotation, how wonderful for the ligaments all through the pelvic bowl, where the femur connects up inside and all of the capsules and joints, tissues, ligaments, connective tissue, all of that being activated and enhanced. Here I've got my hands on my knees, rotation of the knees in circles. All the joints are in circles. That activates the synovial cells or the synovial membrane to produce the synovial fluid. These cells are what produce the environment that allows us to withstand the stress when we're actually training and running and swimming, lifting weights and doing a full workout. This runner's stretch I use to enhance my ability to squat. One of the most common reasons why people tend to lean forward when they're squatting with the barbell, which is a fundamental exercise, they lack the stretch they need, the flexibility in their instep. So that one really improves instep flexibility, and that ties in with calf raising exercise technique and in the stretch where we focus on increasing the stretch of the calf as well as the entire ankle. This movement is all about balance, lifting the knees up here. Now we're going to start twisting. I call this the human propeller. We're going to do this standing. Keep the hips forward, keep looking forward, and try and spin around, keeping your arms straight and high. Spin around as if there was a rod going right through the center of your body. This is all about compression of the inner cavity. It's about squeezing the contents from your body and promoting the elimination of waste. We're not trying to build the abs per se. We're just moving, activating, stimulating, enhancing, moving the body through its natural course of action. Here I'm bending over like a good morning. Knees are bent, hips are back, and I'm going to go down into a little bit of a stretch position on my toes. Balance movements are all through this warm-up phase, which is again one of 5 phases in our workouts. Now I'm going to spread the legs wide. This is good for the pelvis again and all through the reproductive organs. Kind of splits me apart, and then I feel an activation of all the ligaments and cartilage and connective tissue that's inside. Of course, this is just a great single warm-up exercise for posture. Now I'm bent over and more oblique, more intercostal, more of the lower back muscles involved than if I was standing. But again, the change in position has value. This brings part 1 of phase 1 to an end. Now we can move on to part 2. Part 2, which is all about the rotator cuff and the prevention of injury and damage to it, involves several exercises. You do one a day. You start off with the extension movements with the cable inside and out. Then you go up to the rotation, you pull down, lift up, and finally you end up with the straight arm pull down. And now it's time to hydrate. Hydration is essential to good recovery and good performance in the gym. Set up your hydration station away from the equipment, and that forces you to walk towards where your water is. Hopefully It's reinforced with a good electrolyte powder. And now we can move on to the third part, or part 3 of the warm-up. Part 3 consists of some light cardio. I like to use the recumbent life cycle, and during this time I'm reading a book on health and nutrition, philosophy of living, something to empower my mind and strengthen my awareness so that I can keep my focus on health and training as a sincere devotion in my life. So that's my pre-workout warm-up that I do before each and every one of my 5 workouts per week, all outlined in my audiobook, 5 Steps to Health.